Periods. Why does that word make so many of us uncomfortable? Over half of the population will menstruate. Hiding the words like period and menstruation is why things like the luxury tax on period products are still in motion. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, all menstrual products in the US are taxed as a luxury item. A luxury item, not as a necessity. According to HuffPost.com, women who menstruate will spend roughly 2,280 days of their lives on their period and approximately $18,173.36 on period products alone. This brings me to my first visual aid. Here on wuka.co.uk, it explains that 1 in 10 women aged 14 to 21 said that they hadn't been able to afford sanitary products. 5% VAT payable on tampons is due to be cut to zero in 2018. 10 million euros has been pledged to labor to end period poverty if it forms the next government. 49% of 14 to 21-year-olds have missed an entire day of school because of their periods, of which 59% made up a lie or an alternate excuse. You may be wondering why throughout this speech I haven't been exclusively using the word women and saying people who menstruate. Women aren't the only people who menstruate, nor do all of them menstruate. Most cisgendered women, many transgendered men, and a portion of non-binary people, and many more will menstruate within their lifetime. For my second visual aid, this explains the tampon tax and shows which states in the US have period products taxed. Almost all states in the US have this tax applied to all of their products. And then outside of the country, it can get much worse. Do you think of a period as a luxury? If you do, I would be very taken aback. People who menstruate cannot keep themselves or cause themselves to menstruate, so why are the items needed for this unluxurious, unpreventable situation taxed as luxury items? This is why the tax that is applied to all menstruation products is simply absurd. When speaking to my father about this subject, he asked why I considered it controversial and why anyone would disagree with me. He doesn't understand that this tax is applied all over the nation and outside of our country. Over half of the population is paying an unfair tax for something we cannot control. This is caused by us not feeling comfortable enough to speak about it. And the only way we can change this is to use our voices. We can raise awareness and sign petitions, but it won't matter if we keep hiding the word period like the tampon we're hiding in our sleeves. So why was this tax invented in the first place? The basic necessities being taxed is unjust because we are being taxed for items needed for something we cannot control. And all of this is targeted almost exclusively at women. WashingtonPost.com explains that food stamps don't cover feminine hygiene products. And GirlsHelpingGirlsPeriod.com explains that the law was created to help low-income students in school, but it seems to have done the opposite. There are women all around the world who cannot afford these products, and this extra tax is making it so much worse. Women in prison are not given these items. They must pay extra when they simply cannot afford them. Hopefully, you're sitting here thinking about what you can do to lift this law. So what can you do? According to BBC.com, we can support advocates who are fighting the tax, or by signing petitions and marchings. New York Times explains that this tax is simply unjust, and I agree and don't understand how people can't see that. This brings me to my third visual aid, which is a woman speaking about this at a conference. It's by independent.com.
Look forward to hearing her. Danielle Rowley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to announce to you today and to the House, and perhaps will excuse me for my lateness, that today I'm on my period. And it's cost me this week already £25. We know the average cost of a period in the UK over a year is £500. Many women can't afford this. What is the Minister doing to address period poverty?
Good.
Well, as I...
Here this woman explains how much she spends on her period every month and in years. So I want to know, is the amount of time and money that we spend on menstruation not enough of a tax? Does an extra 8% really make that much of a difference? It does to these lower income individuals who simply cannot afford it. This added percentage to a receipt might not mean that much to you, but lower income individuals and women who rely on food stamps need this tax to be lifted. I don't believe that the tampon tax should be a political debate, unless you want my period blood to end up on your seats. Thank you.